Here is my prepaid hotel that was paid for me. And I'm here for a symposium to talk about my work. So that's pretty cool. So, shower, it's very nice. And then a hotel. It's a twin room, but it's only me. Nice art. Chair, table. I've already made myself coffee, but it's too hot. I just burnt my tongue. And here is the view. I'm in Cambridge. Space and then
Testing.
Hello?
Very professional. No,
Does it go full screen?
it will go full
Yeah.
screen if you press it. And I just thought I'd leave that to you because people have different ways of doing it. So. Just grab a coffee.
Hi everyone. So this talk is called For the One I Love, Pagan Rituals of Feminist Methodology. Today I'm going to be talking through my research for my research project on film, Ella and Marguerite Pluck the Daisy, which utilises pagan ritual of effigy burning as a feminist methodology to combat the rhizomatic violence of gaslighting to reclaim my narrative through ritual and auto-fictional writing as a means of post-traumatic growth. So I was quite inspired by this quote by Dr. Antigone Engel. Love as a feeling, an approach, a practice, and an institution is not something that is self-contained, but which forges connections, which we can become entangled, trapped, or find support in. Love primarily as an institution functions with the ritual and social expectancy of marriage, heteronormativity. It's a sticky rhizomatic network which reels us all in and reinforced by the nightmare of holidays like Valentine's Day. So within this, the personal and the political coagulate within the intersections of identity and love into abuse, where home becomes an unhealthy working environment. I find it quite easy to view the endowment of emotional labour and domestic rituals as a premeditated violence. It's more productive to view and acknowledge the ritual as neglect, performative incompetence and expectancy of domestic ritual, and politicise care and ritual beyond verbal within the sub or unconscious. While social ritual is often understood as thoughtless action without context, but it is a strategy and thought of action for men to benefit from in social and domestic spaces. So what is ritual? I followed ritual theory by Catherine Bell. Rituals is understood as a thoughtless action stripped of context, but more interestingly as a strategy, cultural strategic way of acting in the world, and it's a form of social activity. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Also followed Mary Douglas's idea of ritual as providing a framework, the marked off time, place, alerts, a special kind of expectancy. Ritual can operate as a social structure for exploitation where women experience a throwness into exploitative rituals, but it can also provide a structure for exiting said rituals by changing the way a participant thinks and feels and encouraging post-traumatic growth, where the participant can grow from victim or survivor to thriver. So within my research methodology, I followed auto-fictional writing as an approach to my filmmaking. as a methodology of mapping events, feelings, timelines, and it's a methodology often used by women as an expression of self-political and social critique and confession, by exploring the unstable and emotional narratives where women authors self-consciously become post-hysteric within a social structure which constructs women as hysterical. Within the film, I read out 2 texts I wrote, which was a list of fears I experienced after a breakup and a semiotic analysis of a Valentine's Day card I received late and inspired this project, in which I make sense of my newfound situation to counteract gaslighting experienced. So my work is quite site-specific. I view these spaces as a site for ritual transformation and liberation, reclaiming the site as a woman, a naked woman, following civilizing rituals through these spaces as spaces to enter with an expectancy to carry out rituals. So in my film, I returned to my hometown of Belper, which has a prevalent folkloric and pagan community. It is a heritage site, and also returned home in a time of turbulence, and exploring the liminality of space between childhood and adulthood. Liminality is a mode of consciousness, in between consciousness, explored by the folklorist Arnold van Gennep. So artists like Sophie Calais with the rituals response to a breakup, methodically and analytically and ritualistically taking apart one call to action within the breakup. And performance artist Joan Jonas as a performance ritual of men and women, while also Joan Jonas was reading out a poem by David Anton, which this ritual of women's bodies being dragged across space and fragmented within the mirrors. And so the pagan ritual that inspires me the most is the effigy burning, which dates back to 58 BC, this hostile source of Julius Caesar observing the Celtic Gauls, in which the Gauls were believed to be burning figures of vast size filled with osiers. And so this ritual has kind of developed in modern times, where people write down their fears and burn them within the effigies to promote new beginnings, which is something that I observed a lot during my childhood. And so I view this effigy as a resident object in related to the theme, in which the effigy is a resident object connecting to a larger world and history and meaning. And so within this, I'm achieving post-hysteria. I think hysteria and trying to achieve post-hysteria is a liberation from post-hysteria. Sorry, perceived hysteria is intrinsic here in responding to the liminality of turmoil within heterosexual relationships, especially as a queer woman. Hysteria is rooted in the 19th century as a diagnosis for repressed sexual desire. And so within my practice, I adapted this poem by David Anton, which was a list of 66 fears experienced by women diagnosed with melancholia. So within my film, I adapted this to 240 lines of fears that I experienced, and then I wrote them all down within this film, and I burned them within the heart of the effigy as a purification ritual. And then, oh, sorry. Near in the end. Yeah. And so personally I found this approach particularly effective as a methodology of performance, personal and feminist methodology to use ritual writing to counteract domestic rituals, gaslighting, effects on narrative, and sacrifice made by women. Ritual offers new beginnings for the participant to love again, restoring the nothingness which separates us all, and yet also entering love unknowingly and growing stronger from the last. That's it.